A lot of people ask me if hospitality is teachable. That's a big question I get. Is it teachable? And yes, it is. First of all, hospitality is a mindset. So it's not teachable in the way that you can give someone a notebook or a test or something to study and then they take a test and they can pass it and all of a sudden they're hospitable. It's not that. It's a mindset shift. It's teachable, but it takes a lot of effort and it takes a lot of finesse. And so there's a lot of different ways of doing it. Okay, first of all, it has to be in your training. It has to be in your systems. It has to be in your leadership. It has to be in your culture. That's a really big piece of it. But another big piece that people don't talk about is you want to be action and not all talk, okay? You want to be a living embodiment of hospitality, of what you're preaching, right? Oh, I want my staff to be more hospitable. Okay, are you living and breathing it? Are you talking about it all the time? And to give you an example of what that looks like is, first of all, it has to be from the top down, and it has to be everybody from the top down. It has to be everybody. So to give you an example, I always use this one, Chick-fil-A, when you get in there, they talk about it in the training, they talk about it in the systems, the leadership's talking about it, the owners are talking about it. The thing about it is when you walk in, your coworkers are talking about it because they're already bought in. And once you have that going, it's really powerful. Now, before you get there, what does that look like? So first of all, I want you to consider one big thing. You are the sum of the 5 people you hang out with the most. Very common ideology, and it's very true, right? If you hang out with 5 people who are surfing all the time, chances are you're gonna end up on a surfboard in the water at some point, right? So if you're hanging out at work with 5 people that are all about hospitality, talking about hospitality all the time, eventually the light bulb's gonna go off and you're gonna start shifting your mindset and understanding what hospitality is, the ideologies of it, the importance of it, the actual fundamentals of it. You'll really start developing it because you're hanging around people that are talking about it and living it and breathing it and being the example of it. So you're actually gonna start becoming hospitable yourself. And that's why it's so important as leaders, as managers, as supervisors, and as coworkers to always be leading by example, showing hospitality, talking about ideas of hospitality, really bringing it into the framework of the business. It's really important as an owner that you get your management team to do that. And as managers, you get your staff to do that, right? Hey, I have a staff member that's been here for 6 months and I'm hiring someone that's brand new. Let's make sure that 6-month employee is really talking about it. Let's actually coach them and train them to talk about it with the new employee, to live it, to breathe it. Show the examples that they've learned, right? They might be a novice in hospitality, right? Understanding it. They might just know a little bit, have that mindset just a little bit tweaked, not all the way there yet. We still want to encourage them to talk about it. We still want to encourage them to push it because that's a big part of it. It doesn't matter if you're 1 week, 2 weeks, 1 month, 2 month new to the new employee, you still have something to teach them. And we want to embody that in our staff. Now this might sound complex, but it's really simple once you have it in place. And I always tell owners, it's like thinking about your food inventory, right? If I pulled off a person who's never worked in the restaurant industry and explained to them how food inventory works in the system from the moment that the food gets ordered to the moment that it gets eaten and how we monitor all that and how the food inventory works, their head would explode. But it's in your restaurant now and it's very simple, right? Someone walks in the back, they mark it down, they put it into a computer, you get your food inventory. It's very, very simple because you have a system in place, a simplistic system. And that's what you want to have, a system for hospitality, a system for executing hospitality at a high level. So what I encourage you to do if you're an owner and you're wondering, why is my staff not getting it? Why are they not getting the hospitality piece? Start talking about it yourself all the time. Start talking about it with your managers and telling your managers to talk about it all the time. Start encouraging them, giving ideas and pre-shifts, talking about it. Who performed hospitality yesterday? Give me an example of how you went above and beyond for him. Give me an example of how you want to go above and beyond for him. Start writing it down on a whiteboard, all the ideas of how we went above and beyond to give someone hospitality. Make it part of the culture and you will see a huge difference, but you got to start today.